In a small village named Umuogulu, there lived Chekube, who was the first child of 5 children born to a humble family. Her parents worked tirelessly to provide for them, but their efforts could only stretch so far. They lived on the edge of poverty, surviving day by day. Despite the struggles, Chekube carried a dream within her, one that seemed impossible for a girl of her status. She wanted to be educated, to become a medical doctor, and to lift her family out of the poverty that chained them. Her father, though proud of her dreams, could only manage to send her to secondary school. She was curious about furthering her education, but no help. As the eldest, she often had to sacrifice her desires to help her younger siblings. But Chikube was determined. She prayed and hoped that one day an opportunity would come. Then that opportunity came in the form of Osita, a young man from a wealthier family in the nearby town. Osita had noticed Chekube's beauty and charm at a local event. He approached her with promises of affection, but more importantly, he offered her a way out of her dire situation. He would sponsor her education through university, provided she agreed to be his girlfriend. Chekube hesitated. She didn't love Osita. In fact, his overconfidence and the way he spoke about her future as if he owned it bothered her. But what choice did she have? The thought of becoming a doctor, of securing her family's future, overwhelmed her heart. She agreed, and the relationship began. As promised, Osita paid her school fees and ensured she enrolled in a prestigious university to study medicine. For the first 2 years, Chekube focused on her studies, grateful for the chance she had been given. But by her third year, as her world expanded and she met other students, her feelings began to shift. She encountered young men, intelligent, kind, and charismatic, whom she genuinely liked. There was Bayo, a classmate who shared her passion for medicine, and Emeka, who always made her laugh during their long study sessions. Chekube found herself drawn to them in ways she had never felt with Osita. Yet, she dared not act on her emotions. She remembered the conditions of her agreement with Osita, who had made it clear that her education came at a price. She was bound to him, or she would face the impossible demand of paying back everything he has spent on her. In her final year, the inevitable happened. Osita proposed to her an extravagant display of wealth and affection, but his words were a stark reminder of the trap she had willingly entered. You have no right to decline this proposal. Either you marry me or you repay every kobo I've spent on you. Chekube was devastated. She knew she couldn't pay back the money, and she still had 1 more year to complete her medical degree. Desperation weighed heavily on her heart. With no other option, she accepted his proposal, though her heart had never been further from his. The wedding was a grand event, but Chekube's tears stained her white dress. Her maid of honor, confused and worried, whispered to her, asking why she was so unhappy. But Chekube said nothing, swallowing her sorrow like a bitter pill. The marriage, just as she had feared, was full of chaos and unhappiness. Osita, once the benefactor of her dreams, became the warden of her prison. 3 years passed and the couple had a son, but Chekube's heart remained distant from her husband. One fateful day, she met another man, Toby. He was everything she had ever wanted, gentle, understanding, and full of life. For the first time in years, Chekube felt the stirrings of real love. But she was trapped in a loveless marriage, bound by obligation and her husband's control over her life. The desire for freedom consumed her thoughts. Every day, she dreamed of escaping her unhappy marriage and building a life with Toby. But Osita stood in the way, and Chekube saw no other way out. In a moment of desperation, she hatched a dark plan to poison him. She prepared his favorite meal one evening, slipping the deadly substance into his food. Osita ate unaware and soon fell ill. But Chekube's relief was short-lived. His sudden death raised suspicions, and an autopsy revealed the poison in his system. The truth unraveled, and Chekube was arrested. In the courtroom, the gravity of her actions weighed down on her. She had sacrificed so much to achieve her dreams, but in the end, her choices had destroyed them. Chekube was sentenced to life in prison, forever bound not only by the bars of her cell, but by the chains of regret that would haunt her for the rest of her life. And so, the young woman who once dreamed of freedom found herself in the darkest prison of all, one built by her own hands.
Senna, bringing you amazing life stories. Stay tuned.